Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of School for Women. Today, I will be introducing one of my favorite questions to ask myself. And I ask myself this question in very difficult times when I am not sure what decision to make. So basically, this is a question that helps you to really understand yourself and to put your deepest desire first. What is your chocolate cake? So I will explain it, and then I hope that this really helps you when you have a difficult decision. I know it's helped me in my own life, it's helped my friends that I've told. So I am deciding to share it. So basically, this came to me a few years ago. I was a real estate agent in Seattle. And I remember I just had the craziest, busiest day. I started working at 8. I came home around 8:30. I made dinner. After dinner, I had chocolate cake in my fridge and I had some fruit, bananas, actually. I am someone that tries to be quite healthy. I try to eat more vegetables, more fruits, la la la. So when dinner finished, I obviously needed a sweet treat. And so that's when I was thinking, okay, what do I want? What do I want to have? And I went with the banana. I got the banana. I ate the banana. So as the night went on, maybe 1 hour later or 2 hours later, guess what I was doing? I was in the fridge getting the chocolate cake. I remember eating that chocolate cake and I was like, why didn't I just go for the chocolate cake first? I knew that's what I wanted, but for some reason, trying to be healthy or whatever it was. So when I finished eating the chocolate cake, I realized how dumb that was of me. And I applied it to my life. And I noticed how sometimes I tended to choose something because I think it's better for me, but maybe ultimately that's not what I want. That's not my chocolate cake. And it's problematic when we do this. We choose the banana and not the chocolate cake because the whole time you're eating the banana, you're going to be thinking about the chocolate cake. You're going to be unsatisfied. And then in the end, what many of us tend to do is we'll do that first thing. So we'll eat the banana and then we'll also eat the chocolate cake. So obviously that's worse. Like you should have just went with the chocolate cake in the first place. But this is not just about food. This is about life. So I remember I used this when I was trying to decide where I wanted to travel next or what I wanted to do next, right? So last year, if you know about my life, I'm a digital nomad. I don't really like saying that, but I do work online and I travel. And so last year I was living in Vietnam. I was teaching English and then I quit the job and I just started working fully online for myself. When that happened, I was really loving Vietnam, living in Asia. Obviously, if you've been there, you understand that you can have an incredibly luxurious lifestyle. And there's just so much Asia has to offer, so much culture, so much food. Anyways, before Vietnam, I either wanted to go to Vietnam and live there or to Los Angeles. I had these two things in mind, but I chose Vietnam. It seemed good for me at the time, and it was amazing. It was everything I needed. But in the end, I was in Vietnam constantly thinking about my chocolate cake. And the true chocolate cake for me was Los Angeles. So I asked myself, where do I want to live for the next year at least, or for the next while? And I asked myself seriously, and I knew that I didn't want to choose the banana. I was over being this banana chooser. And so I chose LA. And so I moved to LA last year and I got the chocolate cake finally. And even though I just wasn't vibing with LA at the time. It was something that was like constantly in the back of my mind, and I was always thinking about this. And if I hadn't done that and like moved there, then it would have been my chocolate cake for a really long time. So I ate the chocolate cake. I went to LA and I was satisfied. I was happy that I made this decision, and then I was able to move on. And my next chocolate cake was Brazil. So that's how I made the decision to travel to Brazil. So basically, this is a question that I want you to ask yourself when you probably are faced with two things that can sort of satisfy you. Obviously, one is the chocolate cake and one is the banana. So you can apply it to your life in like any situation. If you're trying to date someone, if you're trying to move cities, if you're deciding between something as simple as like what restaurant to go to or what to do in your day, this is a question to ask yourself. And it helps you to really understand yourself and to put your like deepest desire first. And I hope that this helps you. It is something that I use in my everyday life. And I know that it's helped Geetha, my best friend, a lot. So that's going to be it for the episode. I'm keeping it short and sweet. And I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, go ahead and follow us on Spotify. It means so much to follow me there, and also to go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Skool for Women, the podcast. And yeah, go ahead and share it to your story. That helps so much with growth and exposure, and that would mean the world to me. I will see you in 2 weeks.